60 cents, $1.50, or $3.50?
Oh, much more than that.
Well, I think you got the right answer. For as little as 60 cents, a child can be
$2.50.
no, for as little as 60 cents donation, a child can be protected from polio.
Wow.
So it does show the impact of what our donations can be. So what we're going to do is, working with Jim, who doesn't know this yet, we're going to set up a mechanism, either PayPal or some other, that we can start to collect donations for the foundation, so that things can funnel into the foundation. We may already have that set up on our website, I'm not sure, but so keep that in mind. But we are also gonna promote our goal, which is EY. So keep that in mind, particularly those of you who have not been familiar with Rotary before.
For those who have not, let me mention, Matt.
EY stands for every Rotarian every year, with a goal of every Rotarian donating $100. And so we're really not asking too much if we break that down over the number of meetings we have in the year. And we're going to shoot for our goal of $3,000 for our Rotary Foundation. And that is going to wrap up our SARGE program for today, because now we're going to find out from my friend Chris all the good things that Unity Foundation, not Unity, United Way does for us in Michigan City and LaPorte County.
Thank you very much, Sarge.
Thank
we're
you
going to
so
go
much.
on. We got some club business to do first. It won't take us long. First of all, I got some Paul Harris presentations I want to make. And the first one is going to go to Tom Cyphers. Tom,
Whoa.
Can you see this here? We got congratulations for becoming our latest Paul Harris Fellow.
Thank you.
And in addition to that, Tom was so happy to do it, he got his wife involved too. So both Tom and Sandy are now Paul Harris Fellows. So congratulations to the Cypress family.
Congratulations.
All right, now Jim, since we've been focusing on Rotary Foundation, explain again how you become a Paul Harris Fellow.
You become a Paul Harris Fellow by contributing $1,000 to the Rotary Foundation. It doesn't have to be all at once. It can be cumulative over a period of time. But once you achieve getting $1,000, then you can become a Paul Harris Fellow and be recognized for it.
A worthy goal for all of us.
Yes.
And congratulations, Tom and Sandy.
Thanks. Happy to be
Congratulations, Paul.
Yep. Okay, next thing I'm going to talk about real quick is the Rotary Garden Project. I want to bring everybody up to date on it. The plan is to clean up the garden and plant new flowers at Botanic Friendship Gardens. Tom Keene, thank you very much, is going to manage the project. He will be working with the LaPorte Club as a joint project. Thank you, Lee, for that as well. And we need volunteers to get quotes for desired plants. I know Tom and Tom, the two Toms on the meeting here, are both out trying to do some of that. We need to raise funds for the garden. We need to purchase the desired plants. We need to help plant the desired plants, mulch the garden, and obviously maintain a garden during the growing season. So there'll be a little bit of a monetary requirement, but mostly we want people to help us out. And I've gotten a lot of people back that say, well, I don't know anything about gardening. Well, believe me, all you're going to have to do is be willing to get dirty. Somebody will be out there to show you where to put the plants, how to pull the weeds, what weeds to pull. You just got to be able to come on out and help out by getting down in there and digging through a little dirt. Oops.
Jim.
Yes.
Let me just add a couple of things.
Okay.
If you don't mind now, or you want when you're done. I didn't realize.
No, right now it's fine.
No, I just wanted to say the planting is probably not going to happen this year. It will probably, the work will probably consist of getting the area cleaned out. We haven't really decided the layout, And we have an idea of the plants we want to use. However, most of them are probably more desirable to plant in the spring and let go through the summer. So initially it'll be more cleanup, like Jim said, and getting things ready. There's a stump and a large dead tree that needs to be taken out of there. But at some point in time, and hopefully before the end of the year, or at least before the end of September, we can have a joint meeting with the LaPorte Club at the gardens. I think that is the biggest selling point for our project, being part of the gardens. And if you see the rest of the gardens, you'll be embarrassed at what we have. However, we're going to rectify that by next spring. So anyway, just a heads up there. And I'll be tapping people if we can't get enough volunteers, and also tap some of the kids in both towns that need community service hours.
Lee, you got any problem with having a joint meeting out there at the garden sometime?
Not at all. No,
Yeah,
I think it'd be very nice.
Lee's been there and he knows what it's like.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, you mentioned some of the plants. I know that I got a list from Susie, who says, here are some of the plants. Now, I went through these, and not only do I not know what some of them are, I can't even pronounce the names of some of them. So, but anyway, and when I saw Rudbeckia here, all I could think of was a rutabaga. So, I was in trouble. So, but these are some of the plants that they're talking about doing. And so it's a matter of just, and I know Tom, you guys have been out trying to get quotes on these. I know, some of them aren't going to be available till spring. And so we got some issues with them, but at least we have some ideas of what we want to do and what we want to put in there. In the project committee so far, which is very small, is Tom is our manager, Susie's our consultant, and Tom Cypress is a member. Now, what we want to do is we want to get more members onto that committee so that they can help them out and getting things done. You got any other comments, Tom?
No, but I will get together with Lee. I don't know if it's with you or who your club president is, but maybe Jim can put that together on Monday and at least get a list of the people that would be interested in being on the committee.
Okay. Might mention
Hey,
also
Tom,
that John.
This is Debbie. I was just out at Dr. Stephen Krozik's garden in LaPorte, and he reiterated that he has plants he's willing to give to our healing garden at Franciscan, but also Friendship Gardens. So if you guys shoot me the list, I'm happy to ask him what he's got, and he may donate because he's probably looking in the fall to split some things. And Rudbeckia is a black-eyed Susan, Jim.
Oh, okay. John, you want me to shoot her the list of plants there for you?
Yeah, I mean, the list is is right here. So yeah, that's fine. Either way, okay. If you could send that to her, and if you could talk to Dr. Krocek, and I know his son has done some work for me around the house, so they're pretty familiar, and their garden is pretty spectacular out there at his house.
Amazing.
Hey, Tom Keene.
Yes, sir.
Is there a 2:00 meeting still at the gardens?
There is, assuming it doesn't rain, but Susie and I will be there for sure.
All right.
So if you can ride your bike over, great.
Pedal it on.
All right. Super.
Should I be adding Jim Scott's list to this project committee?
Not necessarily.
That's Jim's choice. I won't put him on the spot.
All right. Lee, you're on for this one.
Well, Jim, just one other word on the Rotary Gardens. John Weinweber is to be our speaker on September 28th. What if we were to look to make that a joint meeting at the Friendship Gardens that week?
That would be good. Tom, when you go out there this afternoon for your meeting, why don't you ask Rima or John if the date is available?
Yeah, okay, we'll do that. Yeah, I'll follow up on that. That'd be great. The 28th of September would be perfect.
Okay.
Well, Jim, you've asked me to speak a little bit to a program that Ivy Tech has put together that I think is kind of exciting. It's a program that's called Student Success Scholarship, and they're trying to put together funding so that they can provide a scholarship for the first 200 degree-seeking students that enroll at Ivy Tech by August 13th, and that'll put them through a special program to prepare them for academic success. It pays for the tuition and the books for a week-long program that could really be a life changer, career changer too, for that first 200 students. The Valparaiso Club is going to put $4,500 into this program. That's in part because the scholarship they had for a student that might have enrolled wasn't selected. So they have some dollars available, and they're going to put it all into this program. But also, Sikorsky, the chancellor for Ivy Tech, has asked whether the Michigan City and LaPorte clubs might be willing to also support this so that it becomes a joint effort of the three clubs. I'm going to ask the LaPorte club to do so, and I would hope that the Michigan City club might consider it as well. This will be a way of helping students, but it also helps Ivy Tech. That's so important to our region.
Jim Scott,
Yes,
I was wondering, this is not a scholarship that is in any way in competition with our scholarships.
No.
And I was wondering whether or not the foundation might be willing to consider giving $500 towards this particular scholarship.
well, I certainly recommend that you text both KP Nafir and myself, since KP is the president of the foundation. So let's direct it towards him, but I fully support it, and I'm sure that Tom Stokes would jump aboard in a heartbeat.
Okay. Well, you know that I'm a voting member of the foundation as well. The club president is an ex officio member of the foundation. So.
Well, we got 3 already, so.
We got 3 already, right? So it's looking good, Lee.
I'll be asking the board of the LaPorte Club for the similar contribution later this week. Thank you very much.
Any other questions before we move on?
I think that's a great thing. Yeah, I think that's a great thing for the foundation. I'm all for that.
Okay. Kate, you are on, and I will make you presenter right now. If I can find you here. And I got to put sorry about this, but the old man's got to put his glasses on to see the names. Okay, Kate, you are on as a presenter.
Alrighty. Let's see if I can pull this up. That sure changed, didn't it? All right, so share content. See if I can remember what you taught me. Why am I having trouble? Okay, so I can't just pull it up, right? I have to go get it.
I think you got it. In the share, it says.
Yeah. Does that work?
I got a black screen.
Uh-oh. Well, you want to just pull it up from yours and we'll go from there?
Yeah, why don't I do that? We'll go ahead and do that.
All right. So.
All right, let me get this back.
See, I thought ahead and sent it to Jim because I figured I tried to pull it up and be there or something.
All right, let me go ahead and.
Yeah, go ahead and bring it up. I think you probably all know me. We've probably all met, but I'm the executive director of the United Way of LaPorte County. Been there a little over 8 years now, and it's good to be here with you today and just give you an update on what's going on with United Way, especially during these special times, and for us getting ready to move into campaign time too. So go ahead and go to the next slide, Jim.
All right.
So our lives all changed in March, and the first response that our local United Way did was to start a local COVID relief fund. And to date, we've raised around $140,000 out of that fund. And we really appreciate the generosity that we've seen, not only from local businesses, but also our local community members. If you'll go to the next one, please.
Sure.
This will give you a little bit of an idea of how this money has been broken out so far. We set up a system where not-for-profit organizations in LaPorte County, including churches and groups that, you know, fit into that classification, could apply to United Way through a very simple process. And with this community money, we were doing grants up to $5,000. And so in the categories that were chosen were food relief, housing, so we're talking rent, mortgage, utilities, things like that, child care for essential workers, and also those were the areas that we chose for funding. And then the other thing that we got really involved in was personal protective equipment, or PPE. And so at this point, we put over a little $50,000 into food relief. That's gone out to organizations like our local Salvation Armies. We've done some food giveaways ourselves. The Drifters have done food. So, you know, Jim Musial's got a lot of great work going on around food. So there have been food pantries out like South County and some other areas. So we've tried to spread it around as much as we can. The housing, almost $24,000 so far to help with paying rent and mortgages, utility bills. Water bills is another one that we funded. The child care, we've put $20,000 into that, and we're working on some new ideas around child care too that I'll tell you more about in a minute. $5,500 in prescriptions and over $30,000 in PPE. So we're talking hand sanitizers, masks, gloves, whatever our organizations, the homeless shelters, whatever people need, they're calling United Way, and we're getting this stuff out to them. We just took over 500 bottles a couple days ago to Michigan City area schools to put in their back to school bags for children. And we're doing the same for LaPorte schools this coming week. So just trying to get this good stuff out to people and help them get through this crisis. Let's go on to the next one, please. Yeah, there's just some fun pictures of, you know, going around, and with a lot of our agencies and homeless shelters, we not only took them the small hand sanitizer so they could hand them out, but I got them these big pump bottles so that, you know, as folks were coming in and out, they could refill their little bottle. And so this has worked out really well. And, you know, we've gotten several of these big gallon bottles out throughout the community. So there were some happy faces of people that were receiving either that, or you see Larry Butcher there with some masks that we donated to him. So you can go to the next screen. Now, in addition to this money that we've raised within the community, we also applied for a grant through the Indiana United Ways. They had received a large sum of money from Lilly Foundation, and it was all to be around COVID relief and also identifying systemic issues within a community that became more evident during this pandemic, so that we could address some of these concerns in a way that would strengthen our community long term. So our United Way received $625,000. And that, boy, they I had one of my staff put that number in there. We got a comma instead of a period. We'll have to fix that. Wouldn't it be nice if it was 625 million? Man, I just looked at that number and went, really? right.
625 million. I was saying
Yeah.
that's pretty good work there. That's
I'm really excited about that, but we were real thankful for the 625,000. That's a significant amount of money. And
Yes.
so what we've been doing is through conversations with the community, we have, of course, we want to continue in the areas that we're currently working, the food, the housing, the childcare, prescriptions. We want to continue with that, personal protective equipment. But in addition to that, we have identified some great projects that this money will be, we'll figure it out how we're going to divide it up. We're working on budgets and things like right now. So I'll give you an idea of some of the things that are in play. And these are like unfolding moment by moment. So around children, we have some issues with both schooling, because we're doing virtual schooling, and also childcare, because we have parents that are being required to return to the workforce. And so with children not being in school, who's going to tend to these children? And that's a huge concern. It's a concern for business because it impacts their workforce. And it's just a concern overall. And so we're working with groups in our community to think through how can we use our schools, our youth serving agencies, our childcare agencies to safely accommodate these children and not only give them a safe place to be, but also assist them with the virtual learning process. So this is something that we've never had to do before. And so, we have ongoing conversations right now of what could this look like? How could we support the community? We know we need more internet access, especially in some of our outlying areas. In some areas, we need more Chromebooks. Not only just for students, but also for instructional assistants and other people that are in the classroom. They're going to be helping these children, and some of our youth serving agencies who might be providing that virtual support for education. How are they going to have access? And then some training for all these people so that they can support the kids. So these are some things that have been identified around our youth that we are working on right now. And I expect to see a significant amount of money be directed toward that. We're working with all the superintendents, the child care agencies, the child serving agencies, and just a lot of people in our community, in our business community, to try to figure this out. Another project that we're working on is with our mental health system. We know that many people, both youth and adult, are suffering from just isolation and anxiety, depression. Our mental health providers are telling us that they're seeing a significant rise in these problem areas. They are serving people virtually. And so one of the concerns we have, you may not have heard of this, but United Way manages a state grant called the System of Care. And it's all around mental health service access for youth in LaPorte County. And so we bring together, law enforcement, DCS, schools, providers, everybody around the table, and we track when people are coming into the mental health system, how long is it taking them to get an assessment? Are they entering into services, and are they being supported? And then trying to strengthen that whole mental health system. And so in working with our mental health agencies, what we'd like to do is figure out a way to help kids develop better coping skills during COVID. And the way this is starting to play out, again, this is all in the planning phases, but is to have some, doctors who are trained in this sort of thing, who would provide virtual training and discussion time around selected topics that both the school, the social emotional learning people, and the mental health people would say are really needing the support right now. So then they would develop these opportunities and we would work with the schools to get the kids access. They could come from anywhere in the county because it's virtual, which is what's so cool about this. So it's, you know, Thursday night at 6 o'clock and the kids log in and they're all there together with a professional and working through some issues. So this is, you know, another thing that we're working on to provide. You may have heard that in our county, there is a movement toward mental health courts. First of all, for youth and later, hopefully, for adults. So when people come into the juvenile justice system and they have mental health issues, they would be assessed, and instead of being, you know, going into detention, they would be diverted and helped through the mental health system. And so, you know, we hope to be able to provide some support there. Trying to think what else. Oh, and the other one I would mention is, you know, we have a very active home team and a lot of work going on around housing and preventing homelessness. And so in that area, we're hoping to see a proposal from that group of workers in our community to tell us how can we support the whole housing issue here in LaPorte County. So these are ways that that we hope to be able to use this money to strengthen our county. And this isn't the only pot of money. I mean, in addition to the 625, I've just recently learned that there will probably be another 100 to 200,000 added to this from another local funder. So we're just trying to coordinate this work and bring people together to find solutions for our community. Okay, let's go to the next one. Lots going on, right?
Yes.
So to close out this COVID piece, I want to just let you know, and you know, I'm sure you'll have this PowerPoint. If people want to give directly to the COVID response, they can use that link down there. There, 100% of the money that's raised stays right here in LaPorte County, and it goes right back out into the county. United Way takes no management fee, nothing out of that money. Now, in the 625,000 that you saw from our Indiana United Way grant, we're allowed 5% of that to manage that work. So that's helpful to us too. But in this money, this all goes directly out. The other way people can give to this is through this text to give. You just text the words "give today" to that number. Let's go to the next one. And so, you know, breaking from COVID then to talk just a little bit about United Way in general. Of course, it's about time here for us to kick off our annual campaign, although we try to do fundraising throughout the year now. But you know, it's so important that the community understand that in addition to everything going on with COVID and these additional things that we're funding, we're still funding agencies every month to provide the ongoing programs for our kids and for our families, especially our families that are struggling financially, basic needs, you know, some Red Cross work, just a lot of work that we support for our local community, and that we still have to raise the dollars for that. And so that is challenging in this environment because the community was very generous around the COVID work, and that's what's gotten us to where we are today. But without these campaign dollars, these annual campaign dollars, we can't maintain the regular support that our agencies here locally count on us to give to them. I hope that all of you know this on the call, but I want to reinforce that a local United Way belongs to its community. Even though we have a membership with a worldwide organization, you know, that gives us a membership where it tells us we have to follow the rules and we have to have an annual audit and we have to do things a certain way. But as far as the money we raise and what we do with that money, that's all local decisions. We pay 1% of what we raise as a dues fee, and in return, we get tremendous training and supports from United Way Worldwide. The rest of that money stays right here in LaPorte County. A lot of people either don't know that or they don't believe it, but the truth. So if people want to give to the annual campaign, there's a link here. And then this year, we've done a lot more work around planned giving. And when people, you know, come to that point where they aren't using their money anymore, how can they use it to create a legacy within the community? And so we, you know, have a link here if people are interested in that sort of thing. So let's go on to the next one. Not too much longer here, guys. I wanted to tell you that, sorry, you know, in addition to funding agencies, United Way has some programs of its own that we always operate. The first one is called FamilyWise. This is a prescription discount card. It's free to anybody who wants to use it. You can get them from United Way. You can download them off our website. You can take them to any pharmacy and you will get a discount on your prescription. There's a website where you can go and enter your prescription, find out exactly what the cost of that is at every pharmacy in your area and what your discount will be if you use the FamilyWise card. Last year, that card brought, I think this is since we've been using it, it's brought in, you know, over $200,000 of prescription savings to our community. So, you know, it's a significant amount. The one thing I'll tell you about that, because you see prescription cards at doctor's offices and all kinds of places, but there is a window of savings that the company that offers the card can keep. United Way does not keep that amount. And so, you know, the cards are all good and they all work, but this one does give a little bit more of a savings to the people that use it. And again, they're free. VITA, a voluntary income tax. We have not only volunteers in the area who will prepare people's state and federal taxes for them. We also offer a website called myfreetaxes.com, uses the latest H&R Block software. People can go on, do their state and federal taxes and get their return. And that has brought, it's like over $1 million or up to almost $1.5 million that we've either saved people in fees or brought back in tax returns into the community for this program. Kindergarten countdown camps are camps we do in the summer for children who have not had a preschool experience, or we know that the kids in that family really struggle. So we're trying to even the playing field before that first day of kindergarten to help them be at a, you know, to be on track more with all the kids so that they can learn. And so we have this assessment that we use. It's a pre and post test. The average increase after 4 weeks of kindergarten countdown camps is 19% in the test score. The greatest increase we saw last year was 72% in one child after 4 weeks of being in this. And probably close to a third of the kids were up to like 32% of an increase. So amazing results from those camps. Last year, we put out over $237,000 just in annual allocations. This is what I'm talking about with fall campaign. This was the money that's going out right now every month to these agencies to help them stay on top and stay fluid during this pandemic and, you know, to do their regular work. Couple startups I'll mention. People come to us sometimes and say, we got this great program. Could United Way give us some dollars to get it off the ground? A couple years ago, we helped the Salvation Army in LaPorte start the Backpack for Kids program. That's been a huge success. So we gave them their seed money for that. I think it was last year we gave our Salvation Army in Michigan City some money so they could start Pathway of Hope. So we try to, you know, help get good things off the ground wherever we can. Let's go to the next one. All right, and then this is probably the last slide. United Way has changed the way that we give out money from just anybody who wants to apply. You know, it's an individual agency and they get a certain amount of money. We now require that our agencies participate in collaborations to work on either supporting youth, children and youth, or struggling families. So they have to participate in one of those collaborations and be part of that system within the county in order to be eligible for dollars from United Way. And so we have these areas that you see on the screen. We have childhood success, which is getting kids ready to school so that they can learn. We have youth success, supporting our kids from all the way through school to being prepared to be successful in life. Health, the health work we do is a lot around health access, healthy behaviors, that kind of thing, case management, counseling. The financial stability around strengthening our individual families and basic needs, making sure that people have food and, they can pay their rent and that sort of thing. And I just, I put a few numbers on the side of just a couple of the outcomes over this past year so that you can see that there are large numbers of children and adults who are being helped through these programs. We figured at one point that probably 1 in 4 people in LaPorte County receive some type of help from United Way every year. So see if there's another slide, but I think that might be it.
Well, that was it.
That's it. So does anybody have any questions for me?
Everybody's muted, so make sure you unmute your phone if you're going to ask a question.
I don't have a question, but I just a comment, Chris. That's a lot of great positive impact on our county. So salute to you and your team.
Thank you, Lee. Yeah.
Yes, you did a very good job, and you went through it quite well, and it's very clear, and it's a big job, and I appreciate and congratulate you on all that you do.
Thank you. The thing that's important to us is that folks like you in the community know the United Way story, so that when somebody says that's some big, international organization and all your money goes off somewhere else, that you folks can say, no, United Way makes an impact right here, and it's one of our community's ways of supporting our local citizens. Thanks for the opportunity, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I have a comment too. This is Dahlia Judas. Hi, Chris. Thank you so much for the presentation. It was really good. If I could recommend one thing that I think would be very helpful to the community is to maybe get a daily meditation out to everybody, and maybe through the school or something, it can benefit children, adults. I think that's a really good kind of way to manage some mental health issues in this time. So I'd be excited to see that.
Well, I'll mention that with our mental health work and see where that goes. Thanks, Dahlia. It does remind me, though, that we have a very active Facebook for @UnitedWayLPC. So if if you follow it, we try to post the important things that are going on, supports that people can take access to, and, just like this Ivy shared, we share all of that stuff. So that's a great resource too. So thanks again.
Chris, this is Tom Keene. Great presentation. Thank you so much for bringing us up to date. I just wanted to do, on the behalf of the club and myself, to pass along a hello to Keisha.
Thank you.
She's a former member of our club and a wonderful person and a dynamic personality, and we see where she gets that.
Yeah. Thank you. She's my hero.
Our thoughts on to her.
I will. Thank you. Yeah, I always tell people Keisha's my hero.
Any other questions for Kate? Kate, on behalf of the club, I want to thank you for taking the time to present your United Way presentation to us today. I want you to know that this meeting is recorded and will be up on YouTube, and there will be a link on our website in order for you to get at it if you wanted to have people take a look at the meeting.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, our next meeting will be with the LaPorte Club on August 10th. The invitation is they're going to be touring the Air Force, or a Lee, why don't you explain what it is? You know better than I do.
The LaPorte Club has an annual dinner meeting at the LaPorte Municipal Airport, but this year a B-17 called Sentimental Journey is going to actually be at the airport, and we'll have an opportunity to not only see, feel, and touch that aircraft, but hear from a person who really has great knowledge about the aircraft and is very interested in spreading the word about how important that B-17 was to World War II victory. Reservations are needed. The invitation is on the screen. It's $20 a person. We're limiting the attendance to 60 so that we can maintain social distancing. It's going to be in a large tent outside at the LaPorte Municipal Airport. And I think you'd find it a really enjoyable evening. So as many members of the club as we can accommodate, we will be delighted to see you there.
Make sure you email Gary Ashby at the email address listed here, and this will also be on our website and in our next newsletter to make sure you make your reservation. Lee, what is the cost for it?
$20 a person.
$20 a person.
Catered by Indiana Deli.
Okay. Any questions for Lee? If not, we're done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Again, thanks for coming to the meeting, and we'll keep you informed. And again, the meeting is recorded, and we will be available at our website or in YouTube. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.